Hey, what's up, all? This is Hanif and Hugh Knight, the co-founders of the TAP Project. We are here for another podcast. How are you guys doing? How are you doing, Hugh?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you. How are things going with you?
Things are going great. We're here for another podcast. We're going to hold this one a little bit differently today. Just going to be outlining our roadmap that we released just recently, defining our quarter two, and a little bit of our MVP goals and what we kind of see in the future. So again, you guys, this is the TAP project. And for those who do not know, the TAP project is a utility token built off the Ethereum blockchain that allows gamers to convert their in-game digital earned and premium currencies to cryptocurrencies, thus allowing them to go on to other games and continue playing. And again, this is not any sort of financial advice or anything that should be held that way. Please do your own research for anything that we do talk about. Everything is on our website listed down there, but this is just a way for us to deliver further and faster information to you guys.
Yeah, and you know what's pretty cool? The community is starting to ask for the podcast more and more. So that shows that it's working, and that we're making sense and they're enjoying what we're talking about. So that's always one up for us. So.
And it's a great way to kind of get right in there and be able to tell these things. So a lot of times, a lot of people don't want to write pen and paper on the keyboard or whatnot, but they just enjoy kind of discussing the project or discussing certain things. So podcasts are very good. We do have some obviously in the future and lined up with some other people, and we've done some YouTube videos and stuff in the past as well. But so let's get right into it. So a couple days ago, we did release our roadmap for quarter two. And for those who did not see it, it is on our Medium page, medium.com/@tap_coin. It's called Road to MVP and Roadmap. And in that, we discussed kind of our roadmap that we released at the beginning of the year that outlined our full quarter 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And this specific roadmap is super important, and it's going to be a really big opening quarter for us in the TAP project and the TAP coin. It outlines some of our biggest things coming to the state, obviously for 2018, and that is the MVP, the Unity Unreal plugins, the POS drip bonus, platform API, smart contract core, and exclusive game platform release, obviously with some high-end back fixes and developments always and updates. So we just want to dive into that and kind of discuss really the specific points and specific time frames. So with that, quarter two, we are going to be seeing obviously in the coming day or tomorrow, a wallet announcement. And I'll just leave it at that because that is an announcement in itself. But that does house around the TAP coin and the TAP project, which is super exciting. So stay tuned for that announcement. It should be delivered on our Telegram channel, t.me/tap coin. And please check it out tomorrow when that drops. But we'll get into April 2nd. That is going to be a big day, Hugh, April 2nd.
Yeah, that's going to be a big shift. We've gone through a lot of because that's our logo and website reveal. So we've gone through a lot of changes for those in the community that have been with us since day one, and it feels as if we're evolving, we're growing up, right? We started as a baby and we had this kind of going, and then we got into the toddler stage, and now we're just evolving, and so this is another evolution. I think this is the this is probably the last evolution when it comes to logo and website and visual branding and so forth for us, because I think this is where we're at a state where we're conveying the right message and the message that we want to convey to gamers, to publishers, to community as to what the TAP project and what the TAP coin is. Is that sort of how you feel?
Yeah, it's there's obviously one thing. You never say always, always say never, something like that. One of those things. But you're right. This would be our long-standing kind of reveal to say this is what the TAP project is going forward for a long, lengthy point of view, and this is how we're going to kind of build that curve and kind of push towards the upper echelon of it, kind of push to that mainstream market and kind of hold our ground at this point with our logo and our website and kind of build off of that.
Yeah,
And it,
we're hodling now.
yeah, definitely for sure, right? It's kind of at that point where you're transitioning from um, you know uh, an ICO or a beta stage or alpha stage of an idea or a project or whatever it might be, and you're kind of pushing forward to productivity and product marketing. Whereas before, a lot of the marketing and stuff were done for ICO or crowdsource or whatever it might be. But now you're building off of a product that you do have and that you're facilitating and allowing gamers to convert and earn their currencies, and you're building that platform, that ground level. So it's super important to have a good website that allows that. And whether we're talking about, we finish a meeting with our copyright, whether we're talking about language and branding and everything that goes into that as well. There's a lot that goes into that website, and that lot that goes into that position, so that when people jump on and when people see us, or learn about us or hear about us, they know exactly what they're getting into. And it's not going to be anything fearful for them. Oh, cryptocurrency, my God, right? It's something that they feel comfortable seeing and comfortable moving around. So super excited about that reveal.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It gives, as you said, it gives us that brand, and the colors that you recognize, and you'll see that throughout everything that we sort of do from that point on. And you'll be able to look and recognize. It's sort of like the golden arches, right? Everybody knows what that is synonymous for, or the good old deep red that comes on the cans. Everybody knows what that means. So you know when we reveal this logo and reveal the colors in the site, you'll be able to say, okay, well, that's what going forward I'll expect to see. And when you do see it, you'll be like, Tap Project, that's right. So.
And that's what we want to do, right? The TAP project is something that obviously can be done, in a certain amount of time or a certain amount of years or whatever. But we want to build something that allows longevity and control and the uniqueness to stay relevant, consistent. And we really do feel that this website and reveal will definitely facilitate that. And we hope that you guys will love it. We know you guys will love it because we do ourselves. So we put a lot of pride and effort into putting out something that we do care about. Because as we said, we are gamers first and foremost. So if we can't game it, or if we can't play it, or we can't use it, then why should we push it out, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
And for April 7th, we have our verification and drip bonus initiation. Hugh, let's talk about a little bit about that.
Yeah, one quick sec. I'll quickly hop back and just sort of give a pat on the back and kudos to the team, the internal team that's been working on
Very important.
yeah, right, the logo, the website, the reveal, the design, the coding. So everybody that's on the team that's been putting a lot of sweat and effort into that. Thank you. We'll just say that right now, and then we'll hop in. So April 7th now. Verification and drip bonus initiation. So April 7th, we will have had the drip bonus infrastructure. That means the contracts, facility contracts, how they interact with each other, completed and in place. Basically, that allows us, what we want to do is get everything into place. The tap relay contract, the tap vault, all of the contracts into a state where we're just putting them together, sort of like Lego pieces. We're just connecting the pieces because they've already been developed and they've already been done. So right now it's being worked on, the drip bonus infrastructure and outline. And it's being heavily developed and heavily coded. And so we just want to, at the end, when we're ready for the testing on the test net, just click, 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 put the pieces together and test away.
Yeah, and that'll allow us to really get a full function of the TAP project and the TAP coin and the platform itself, and its uses. And as you see there, obviously, if you guys are pulling up the roadmap there, Hugh went through the TAP relay contract, TAP vault, and testing on testnet. And there's a couple words there in June 9th that are pretty different. It's a different word that we haven't used. And I don't know. I think we should kind of, maybe we might want to hold that one for a little bit longer, because that is a different update. That's a new update to the Tapcoin and the Tap platform. Avatar contract. I'll let that kind of mull around and kind of, we'd love to hear what you guys would think about that. What you guys, when you hear avatar contract, what you guys think on Telegram channel. So again, hit us up on t.me/Tapcoin and let us know what you think. We know exactly where this is going. And there needs to be a couple more pieces in play before we fully make an announcement, right, Hugh? But I think you know what I'm talking about. But
I do. So I think that one we should leave as a its own little separate piece. So we'll kind of make some hops back as well. And for those that are sort of just joining us, maybe if you're cool with that, if I'll go over what the drip bonus is, what the tap relay is, and what the
yeah,
tap.
no, for sure. That's a super important part of our system, and that's something that we've put out from the beginning. So yeah, no, talk about that.
Right. So for those that know that the drip bonus is if you're holding a certain amount of tap coin in your tap wallet, then you get rewarded, right? And this reward is a monthly reward payout.
Wait a second. What did you just say? You said holding it in your Tap wallet?
What did I
What?
just say that in?
Anyways, okay, keep going.
Um, and so that allows you to as you're playing and as you're gaining these tap coins and as you're building up your tap wallet, you're getting rewarded for holding it in there, and the drip bonus will get paid out to you. Anything you want to add to that?
No, that's essentially it, right? There's a certain percentage that user will be able to get from receiving and holding a certain amount of tap coins, and they'll be able to continue to earn tap coins from that point. And it's something that we want to be able to have and provide users the ability to consistently play games, consistently hold tap coins, and then be able to
Are you playing the tambourine? Is that what's going on?
Someone's definitely playing the tambourine in the back.
Cool. And then we'll hop into the tap reload. So one of the things that we came up with, and that's sort of when we were looking at, okay, well, what does the adoption look like for the platform? What type of user base are we dealing with? How do users get tap coins? That's the question we asked. And so one of the things that we wanted to do is facilitate a way that they don't have to go out into the exchanges so much to hunt and seek tap coins. So they'll have the ability on the platform to get tap coins either through transition of ether. So basically allows you to send ether to a contract and receive tap coins back. So you don't have to go out there and search for them with the exchanges if you're not too familiar or if you're not too comfortable, because we get a lot of the members in the community in the Telegram channel ask, okay, well, where can I get it? How can I get it? Well, the question now using the tap relay contract on the platform is use the tap relay contract, send your ether, receive tap coins. Very simple.
And definitely helps facilitate as we push towards, I keep calling it, lack of a better word, mainstream or adoption, wider adoption, and wider support base. It definitely helps facilitate that ease and the tutorial to get onto the TAP project or get onto blockchain. And getting onto blockchain itself is a different level of understanding that some people don't want to even jump through. And I've heard many conversations and talks with different people. They say, Bitcoin or crypto or blockchain, I still don't understand it. It's kind of the thing. I still don't understand it. And it's something that they just don't want to jump to because they think that it's going to take too long, or they think that it's going to have to read 20 books or 20 YouTube videos. But this just helps to say, okay, you like our idea, you like the TAP project, you like its vision and its goals. Here, we'll build you up in a little bubble here on our platform. Stay with us a little bit, learn from us, learn blockchain from us, learn contracts from us, whatever it might be. play us, use us, and then hey, if you do want to kind of explore out because now you like the ideas of blockchain and its technology and its uses, then you're free to do so while still coming back to the TAP project. So I definitely feel, it helps relieve some of that stress on jumping onto an exchange and oh my god, what is all this, all these numbers,
Yeah.
tickers, whatever, right? Like you're just seeing so many things fly by. Oh, am I really going to get this, right? So that's a great mark on us as well.
Yeah, for sure. It makes it very simple as almost a button click. Okay, I need X amount of tap. Click, ETH goes out, tap comes in. Let's keep going, right?
Yeah, and this is not to facilitate an exchange. This is
Right.
merely to allow users to jump onto our platform, grab some tap to then go into our platform. Because as we said, you do need a set amount of tap coins to join our platform and to play its game and to earn tap coins. So that is super important. Tap
Yes.
coins are required to use our platform. They were currently set at 5,000 tap coins at the time. Depending on how things go, we'd obviously push out a big release on the amount required. And we will be lowering that threshold when we're doing our testing for testing purposes to allow a wider audience for stress testing and stuff like that. But the relay contract is to facilitate and allow users to jump onto the platform, get the minimum amount of tap coins required to join the platform, and obviously continue to earn, play, and provide the tap coins use. Because there is some uses on the platform in itself that you do have to be able to earn tap coins, spend tap coins, whatever it might be on the platform, and that kind of all corroborates all of that. So
Exactly. And then we'll jump on the tap vault. Everybody sort of knows, well, they know about the reserve vault. So
and the
it's
tap vault is May 12th on our quarter two roadmap as well. So good.
yes, yes. So this one, I won't get too much into the details, and not because I can't. I can. It's because it's a bit. So you imagine this. The vault is going to be, handling paying out of drip, facilitating transactional fees, so facilitating paying developers, facilitating rewarding gamers. So it's a little bit. It's not complex, but it's not simple at the same time. We've built it a way that ensures that the system continues to flow, and also provides a bit of security, because at the end of the day, there's a lot out there in the world, and not everybody means good. And so we've designed it in a way that we're able to ensure that the attack vectors are very minimal, at the same time still providing that high service and that high availability for payouts and for rewarding and so forth. So the vault is still the reserve system, and it's just being separated how we've designed it, and interactions between it and between contracts. So
Super cool. Just a little off tangent here, but didn't Juego Studios, we had partnered with and building kind of our plugins and stuff like that, did they send you something? I think they did a small minor test there, eh?
attack.
It was super cool actually, and that's what made a small little tangent offshoot, and you reminded me of that, and that it made me smile. It was huge. It's huge. It's we can obviously talk about that later, but that point from getting some virtual currency, in-game virtual currency earned to our system.
I think we should spend, at least a minute talking about it, because it was very big. I know we were throwing up the high fives. I don't know if people still high five these days, but we were throwing up the high five because Juego, and the SDK that's being developed, and the API and so forth. It's like, when you make that first phone call, right? The first phone that was invented and the first call that went out, it was like that. So we were able to take the virtual currency and then put it on the platform, and that is huge. So that interaction is already there. It's done.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And as you said, the first phone call is kind of like you push, you spin, and you hear a little and then you hear a hello, and you're like, whoa,
Exactly.
whoa. And
Yeah.
then that's where you have it, right? That just that hello. You don't need to have conversation. Just that hello and just actually receiving something from another end. It's like, the first iteration of a teleportation device. We don't have teleportation devices, and I wish we did, but I can only imagine like that, right? Like you put in the teleportation device on your end, and then boom, or like the fax machine. Let's bring it even older, like
Oh,
the
get out
fax
of
machine,
here.
right? You have the ability to send something that you drew or wrote on a piece of paper, and it gets sent to someone way across on the other side, right? So that's super cool for us, and it's super exciting. And as a gamer, I'm just itching to kind of get its use out there, which is super cool.
Yeah, and that's a good example as, we've taken something that's all in the virtual space, and it's still in the virtual space, but we've taken it out of the game now. That's what we've been saying we're gonna do, and we've done it, right? So I can't wait to start getting the MVP so that people can see, because there are some naysayers out there that say it's impossible, and I smile because I've seen it. So I just
It,
want to
it's
show.
it's not a mirror of impossibility or not. It's a mirror of want, and is there it's just one of those things, and I will go back to this, and I think we touched on this on one of our earlier podcasts about the Star Wars Battlefront thing that they whole got wrapped up in about their microtransactions and their pay to win type of gameplay. This is there. The ability to have this technology work is there. We're proving this. However, can gamers rise up and actually ensure that it stays? That's the big part. Developers and people who can consistently you know, take advantage of gamers' microtransactions and the urge and the psychology of gaming have been winning for numerous years. By ensuring that there's a pay to win system on certain games, that you have to put in you have to buy a game for $70. You have to buy the DLC. You have to buy the second DLC. You have to buy the third DLC. When 15 years ago that was one full game in itself. So obviously there's a huge market and shifts of markets that have been continuously growing, and gamers haven't stopped these trends. But this is something that it makes me think, and it gets into our MVP and what we're going to be seeing and the psychology of different uses and its use. But we're ensuring that this technology is there. We've always said that we will disrupt this market. We're going to be disrupting this $1 billion market that's currently sitting back and relaxing and had its way for numerous and numerous amounts of years. We're changing that. Can you stick to that as a gamer? Can you stick to the fact that you should have options or whatever it might be in terms of microtransactions? We're not saying get rid of those. We're not at all. We're just saying allow another cyclical portion onto that big old circle. Instead of 3 points, we're allowing a fourth point to then say, okay, you have this ability to do what you want a little bit here, and then give back to the developers. But that will be the change. It's not so for me. It's not so much about impossibility or not. It's about really a genre and a trend and a change of a trend that we've been seeing and existing for 15, 20 years now.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And it'll be, a change for developers and publishers as well. And I think a good one because, like we keep iterating, you're creating another revenue stream, right? We're not taking away from anything. We're just adding on to what's already there in pretty much all the senses, right? We haven't eliminated anything when it comes to the games, to the gamers, to the publishers. We're providing added benefits. And we're sort of, it's a unique place that the TAP project is in because we're almost sitting in the middle of it all, right? We're gamers and we're publishers at the same time, right?
100%. We're definitely sitting in the middle, and it's a delicate balance, but it's a great balance to be in, and especially in this time and how games transition into blockchain advancements, to be able to kind of break the ground and create our own rules, right?
Yep.
Which is super cool when you think about it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, and then so the final two is testnet. And so that what that means for those out there that's sort of new to this space is um, you've got mainnet with it, which is the Ethereum Live main network, and then you've got testnet where you do a lot of your testing. It allows you to test out contracts, allows you to test out different DApp, how they interact. And so our goal is to get it on there, run through it. We might select a couple loyal community members to help us test it because you never know until you start doing user interaction. And so we'll take that learnings and we'll make any adjustments that we find, any bugs that needs fixing and so forth. And we'll obviously every step along the way we're doing our bug testing, and then we'll take that and correct those to get into the MVP. And the MVP is the minimum viable product, right? That means features that need to work in order for getting game currency into cryptocurrency will all be in place. The drip will be in place. The wallet will be in place. Everything that you need to log into the platform, play your game, get that into your wallet, into the tap coin will be functional. And so we'll be out of the current state that we're in, which is sort of the alpha and the windows and pieces here and pieces that are working to everything you need, and then we'll build on top of that, right? So that MVP is that is it in terms of getting people on board, using it, and then building on top of that, and refining it, and adding or taking away.
And that point, that's where we're kind of going to be sitting for a long period of time at that MVP build stage, is where we continue to build off of what we do have, and we obviously want to build a great concrete core, which is the MVP, and then we build on top, as Hugh has talked about. And so that we will sit there for a while. We could sit there for years, building and building and building and building and building on something that we already have a strong core from, which is super important. And that's another exciting and great port of the time. And obviously that's June 30th. And depending on how things go, that's where we've set the milestone right now. But that is a huge point. And that's where, for a segue, that's where we'll get to kind of see, as you talked about, the user base and kind of see what they're going to do. We've had this discussion earlier as well, and it's going to be interesting. One thing that I'm going to find interesting is I've been playing games that I've talked to some developers about, playing their games and seeing how it would work on the Tap platform and playing consistently. And I'm not talking about just play 1 or 2 rounds. I might play for a month, I might play for 2 months, so that I can actually see, okay, how does this game transition in terms of earned scores and premium scores? How does a user actually receive more earned scores? What does the user have to do? Does a game have a good constant live ops? Does the game pull users back in? Once we find that out, we have to be able to determine, okay, what will users do? And that's going to be the interesting part. How will this change, the psychology of gaming? I've said it in here already, right? Like it'll be very interesting to see, okay, what will users do? Will they play a game that they've played for 2 months and consistently earn a lot of earned premium scores from? Or will they switch to a different game just to continue in building their skill level? How does that change now when you have the ability to control options and such? How does that change? Now that's something that, as a developer, when I'm creating a game, do I need to change anything there? Does the whole mentality of playing in the live ops? In my opinion, we're increasing the live ops for a game that a user loves. If I love a game, I'm going to continue to play it, especially the fact that it's facilitated with a Tap project and the Tap coin, and has this ability to transition between its virtual currencies and our currencies. So it'll be super cool to see the data come in, and obviously once the data comes in, then we can gauge again. And throughout our whole process, we've points where we will reassess, we will redetermine, we will change, we'll see, we'll add updates, because that's super important. Like any other game, when a game releases for example, a fighting game, and they have 10 characters, and one character they find out a lot of users are playing this character. um, Another tangent. Overwatch, Blizzard does this very, very well. Overwatch is a game that has, let's say, 30 characters, and it's a team-based first-person shooter game, where there's obviously objectives and goals and stuff in mind. However, what they do is they watch for about a month or so. They see how many users or gamers are playing a certain character. When they have that data, they can say, okay, they'll look a little bit closer. They'll say, okay, 70% of our users are playing this one character. I wonder why. They'll look into it. They'll see, oh, okay, this is why. This person is overpowered. This person is underpowered. This person is a skill-based player. And they actually change that. So they're actually building up on the psychology. Every single update that they do, they're changing that. They're ensuring that you play a different character every time. So that might be something that we're going to be getting into with MVP launch. As I said, this is not something that's concrete, but this is something that we will see, because this will be changed. This is groundbreaking. This is new. So we have to create the rules for this type of innovation, and it's going to be exciting to do so.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. There will be adjustments, right? It's sort of like you said, it's like any game. We'll get the data, we'll review the data, and we'll make adjustments to help, make this something great. Because at the end of the day, we're getting gamers, but we also will get those that have been sitting on the bench, right? That just watch. They just watch someone else game either through YouTube or Twitch or another. Maybe they watch esports, and maybe they'll say, okay, well, hey, there's an incentive. This is a little gift for me. Maybe there's an incentive for me to try my hand at it, because now I'm able to get a reward out of it. I'm able to get a gift out of this, and that gift is a tap coin, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be, and then like you said, the psychology. Does this allow developers to make their games slightly harder?
Exactly. I was just about thinking that. You read my brain,
Ah!
read my mind. That skill-based game, right? That skill-based initiative of a game. That's going to be huge. To be able to, tell users, okay, put out your whole skill. Try this game. It's a hard game. It's like Cuphead, right? Like Cuphead was notified as one of the harder games to put out there. People hated that game for a bit, but they actually ended up loving it because it's so hard. It's different. It's kind of like the first Mario, right? Like if you lose your 10 lives, or you do a cheat or whatever, get that 10 lives or 3 lives, you restart. Will we go back to those type of games where they're skill based? You actually have to, whether it's by memorization of different sets and whatever you might do for skill runs or for quick runs, or is it going to be a skill-based game where a user is challenged to earn as much score as they can to be able to convert it? It's going to be super cool.
Yeah, and I think Cuphead is a good example, because you get the human mind psyche is designed for reward. So I do something and I get rewarded. I feel good. And the reason why someone would hate a more challenging game, they'd start at they wouldn't instantly go to expert level in the game, is because the rewards are okay, but now they're not that good. But now it's by maybe playing the expert level, and by completing it, I get a reward. I get tap coin, so I feel good. Okay, so developers push the limit. Gamers are able to try and punch through that limit, right? So it's going to be super interesting to see how the industry kind of takes to this, and how gamers and non-gamers and sort of how everybody thinks and will kind of interact with this, right?
Right, and as a developer too, there is that leeway and there is that conversation for partnership to be able to say, hey, on a easy or medium mode, users will not earn any tap coins. Users will not be able to convert their scores. But hey, maybe if you only want to facilitate a expert or hard mode that users can earn, go ahead. Perfect for that, because then that facilitates exactly what you said. Hey, we've challenged and we've made this the hardest game. We've made this a Call of Duty where you get shot once, you die, and you start from the beginning, type of hardcore mode. and this is your ability to earn your tap coins here. That's a huge incentive to continue playing, because if I say, hey, if I get to that checkpoint without getting shot once, I can get paid in tap coins. Boom, I'm playing that game over and over and over again, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like you said, you might start at the easy level and you get nothing. And so you okay, well, now I want something for it, but I've got to step up. So everybody's got to step up, and it challenges you as a gamer to to put your skills out there, right? This is your skills. You don't have to worry about going head to head with the number one esports gamer or anything like that. You're going head to head against yourself and against the game.
Yeah, so
Right?
exactly. That fight against yourself first is kind of the biggest one, which is super cool and interesting to look at. So
Yeah, for sure.
awesome. So that will be it for today. As I said, this podcast is merely to discuss our Q2 roadmap and to define everything about that. We did have a lot of questions about the roadmap and a lot of emails flying in as well, but we will be able to get into those and further see it. But we have set some dates here. We've always consistently hit our milestones, and we're continuing to do so, and we're super excited about Q2. As I said, it's going to be huge with the wallet announcement, logo, website reveal, verification appeal, strip initiation, tap relay contract, tap vault, avatar contract, platform testing, MVP launch, including the Unity and Unreal plugins. That's it for Q2, and that is going to be super, super exciting.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's our quarter, right?
It's a huge quarter for us. So again, guys, if you guys have not, please find us at www.tapproject.net. Follow us on SoundCloud. We'll hopefully be putting our podcast on YouTube in the future as well. But for now, follow us on SoundCloud, on Twitter at tap_coin, on Medium tap_coin, Facebook, Telegram, t.me/tapcoin, all of it. Follow us. Hit us up with any questions you guys might have. team@tapproject.net. Any emails, anything you guys think, suggestions. We're super open to it, super transparent. Let's have a chat. See us out there in the future as well. And again, Hugh, go with the slogan there.
I'm gonna throw a slogan, but I forgot to. So if those are listening that made it to the end of this, my new mic is coming. It didn't arrive when I thought it would, so please don't crucify me, please. I promise. For the next one, it will be here.
This will be good, at least.
Yeah, my new mic will be here. But so I'll end with it. Fueled by gamers, inspired by the community, disruptive to all.
All right, thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.